happy cook. The best cook is a blessed cook, and a blessed cook is a happy cook. And you know, it's important to me that as I prepare meals for others, and even myself, that I have the right attitude, because however you're feeling when you're cooking, it'll be conveyed to people that you are actually, feeding. So basically, you want to just have a good attitude. And so this upcoming series is going to be about being happy as we cook and doing things and feeling good about what we're doing. I also want to help those persons that feel like you can't cook, to let you just know that you can do this. You can do this. Today I've got an awesome recipe for you, and that is lemon chicken piccata. This lemon chicken piccata is going to be so good that you're going to want to tap yourself on the shoulder, hug yourself, do whatever you can, love on yourself, because the food is going to be so good. We're going to start off today. Our chicken is all of the ingredients here are organic. Now you don't have to do organic. I prefer to use organic and GMO-free ingredients. So this is some step 3 skinless, boneless chicken breast. You can either buy the chicken breast already in cutlets. I like to save a little bit of money, so I get the whole breast, and then I slice them up myself and when you slice them, you're going to slice them into a little bit like 1/2 inch thickness. But we're going to show you that. Just some lemons, some flour, capers, salt, pepper, butter, and wine. One very important ingredient for happy cooking is wine. Wine complements so many recipes, so don't be afraid to use wine. And of course, for those of you that don't drink wine, you can still use it in your food. It just will add to the flavor of it. And so this meal, I tell you, this is going to be awesome. Stay right there. When we come back, we're going to get started with our lemon chicken piccata. Let's get started with the chicken. As you notice, I put on some gloves. I usually do like to use gloves when I'm working with chicken because chicken can have quite a bit of bacteria on it. So we want to make sure that the chicken, that I don't stop, I'm covering my hands. And what we're going to do, if you have chicken that's not already in cutlets, just going to slice it into pieces. They don't have to be exactly 1 inch, but just smaller pieces. And we'll take those chicken breasts, and as you're seeing, I'm making them in pieces maybe about that thick. Again, I never went to cooking school, so if my terms aren't right, y'all forgive me. I am a cook that learned from other cooks. Actually, I learned a lot of my cooking just from getting recipes online. I started cooking when I was 12 years old. My parents gave me a night of the week that I was responsible for cooking, and they just said, okay, you cook. So I had to figure it out. I started subscribing to Bon Appetit magazine and found recipes that I'd like, and then I'd go to the stores and the grocery stores at 12 and 13 years old, and I would pick up the ingredients and start off with simple dishes. But then I got a little bit more complicated and started learning how to cook Chinese. Got a wok and then all types of cakes, and throughout the years, I have just met so many awesome cooks, and I just sit in their kitchens and I watch them cook, and then I try to do what they do, and that is my cooking story. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to take a piece of some saran wrap, because what we're getting ready to do is we're going to beat this chicken because we want to flatten it out. Okay. Cover it with this. Okay. And then I have this device here. I guess it's kind of like a mallet here. And what we're gonna do is just start banging down, just beating on this chicken. And now what we're gonna do is take some salt, and what I'm gonna actually do here, I've changed my gloves again because I didn't want to get any of that in any of the chicken in my salt. But I'm also going to use this. So basically, what I'm doing is I'm taking a teaspoon of salt because that's kind of what I wanted. I don't want to use more than a teaspoon of salt. So we're going to take this salt and just kind of sprinkle the salt. Depending on what you're doing with this salt, sometimes, you know, it's just better to have more control over your salt because you can always add salt. It's harder to subtract it. And then the people who are eating your food, they can also put salt. And we're going to put some salt in the flour as well. So we kind of want to watch that, how much we're putting in terms of the salt. And I like to use fresh ground pepper. Okay, so I'm going to take the ground pepper. And we're gonna get some ground pepper, freshly ground pepper, on the same side of the chicken where we just put the salt. Okay. And again, it's chicken breast, so it doesn't really require, chicken breast doesn't really require a whole bunch of seasoning. It's really easy to over season it. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip the chicken over to the other side. Flip it on its side. Chicken is sitting there, we're going to get the flour ready. And so we're going to take, this is actually a half a cup of flour, but you can just kind of, you may not need it. It depends on how much chicken. I've used a total of 4 chicken breasts, and I'm actually going to take some more salt, 1 more teaspoon of salt, well actually a little bit less than a teaspoon. I'm going to add it to this flour and kind of mix that up. So now my flour is seasoned, and that's why I was trying to still watch how much salt I was putting on that. And then we're gonna, again, put some fresh pepper in the flour. Okay, and while that's sitting, we're gonna start getting our oil ready and our butter. Okay, and I'm gonna show you that right now. Pan, you're gonna take about, let's just say 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of butter, and we'll put that under a medium-high flame. We're not going to go too high with the flame because we don't want to burn it. The chicken 1 piece at a time, and you're going to dredge it in the flour. Dredge just means that you're just going to kind of pull it through. Okay, we're not trying to put a whole bunch of flour on it, but we want to get enough. Okay. You can put it back on and you'll continue to do this until all of your chicken has been dredged in the flour. working on some of our sides. And what we're going to have with this is we're going to have some awesome fettuccine pasta. And so to get your fettuccine your pasta ready, what we're going to do is you're going to get a pan, maybe a 5-quart pan or so, and you're going to fill it with water, not to the top, about halfway with water. And you also will take some of the sea salt, and we're going to put a little bit of sea salt in that water. Now you can turn your heat up as high as you want it to go, because we want to get that water to boil. So it's going to take a few minutes while the water is boiling. And so while the water is boiling, we're going to work on another one of our sides, and I'm going to show you a little secret here that a lot of people don't know about garlic. The other side that we're going to have today is we're going to saute some beautiful fresh spinach. So what I'm going to do is we're going to get ready to get the garlic ready for the spinach. Have you ever tried to get some garlic out of the skin? I mean, that can be a pain. You know, you're going like this and all that. Well, have no fear. The answer is here. What you actually do is you take your garlic while it's still in the skin, and get yourself a nice big knife, a butcher kind of, well, whatever you call this type of knife. And what you're gonna do is put the knife on top of the garlic, and then you're gonna go just push, just press down on it. And what happens is the garlic, will fall right out of the skin. I'm gonna do that again with this one, and then we're just gonna push it again. Oh shucks, a baby garlic came out of that one. Anyway, this is our garlic that we're gonna be using for our spinach, and that was so simple. Now that the water is boiling in our pan, we're gonna take our pasta, and basically what I'm using is a half a box of pasta, which is a half a pound of fettuccine pasta, and I'm gonna break it in half and kind of sprinkling it in there into my pot. Okay, that's the Jamelle method. And normally after I put some pasta in, I would just take something and just kind of make sure that it doesn't stick together. And so we're just going to give that some time. We're probably going to let this water continue to boil, come to a boil again, and let it boil for at least 7 minutes. And so we'll just kind of keep an eye on that, okay? Because basically we want our pasta to be al dente. We don't want it to be el sage. Basically our spinach, we're going to use 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, 2 cloves of garlic that we've already minced. We will put salt on it later, and some cracked black pepper with our spinach. Okay, we'll begin our spinach by letting the coconut oil, giving it a chance to heat up. We won't put the garlic in there until the coconut oil melts, because we don't want to overcook our garlic. Once we've given the coconut oil a chance to heat up, I'm going to reduce the heat actually a little bit. And then we're going to take our garlic and we're going to throw it in the pan. Just kind of move it around a little bit, get it spread out in that pan. See how that looks there? And before that garlic can burn, we're going to start taking some of our spinach and just putting it in the pan on top of the garlic and the oil. The interesting thing about spinach is that spinach, when you saute it, it disappears. So we're not going to saute it too hard, but we just want to get it enough so that we can have all the spinach wilted. And now I'm going to start moving the spinach that's on the bottom of the pan, just kind of turning it up. Okay, now that our pasta is ready, we're going to take it and we're going to pour it into I have a stainless steel colander. Just for a minute. And I'll probably we'll put a little bit of olive oil on it to keep it from sticking together. Oh, and there we have it today, our lemon chicken piccata, fettuccine pasta that is excellently, wonderfully, perfectly cooked. Some sauteed spinach. And what I did, I just took some tomatoes because I like color on my plate. So I took some tomatoes and some cherry tomatoes, cut them in half, put a little bit of oil, a little salt and some pepper, and slice them, and they're delicious, just for color and also for flavor. Also what you can do, I took a little bit of parsley and just put a garnish, and if you have fresh parsley, you can use fresh parsley. I had dried parsley, so I did dried parsley. But now, we need to taste this food, see just how good it is. Alrighty. Oh, you've got to try this. This is absolutely delicious. Lemon piccata chicken, tomatoes, spinach. In fact, check you out next time. In fact, next I'll be making a vegan key lime pie. My husband loves key lime pie, but I can't eat it because I am lactose intolerant. So I found this awesome recipe for vegan key lime pie. Meet me next time. I'll show you how to make it. Until then, remember that the best cook is a blessed cook, and a blessed cook is a happy cook. Even with food in my mouth. Thanks for joining me. See you again soon.